All right, there. So let's break down this key scene from The Man by Taylor Swift. So this is a scene where he obviously walks through the office. He gets wildly celebrated as he's walking through, and then he stands and pulls his pose to his adoring office workers. So the first thing I think is really, really crucial to notice here is that this is that intertextual link to The Wolf of Wall Street. Okay, and remember, whenever we're thinking about intertextual links, is this a parody or is this a homage? All right, and obviously, just like with the rest of Taylor Swift's intertextual links in this music video, what we've got here is a powerful parody of powerful men. Okay, so here we've got this parody of powerful men. Okay, and remember, the whole purpose of this parody is to humiliate these men and expose their flaws, okay, to show that they shouldn't be so worshipped or so valued in our society. Okay, now why this film, why this scene? Okay, so obviously, for those of you who know The Wolf of Wall Street, it's a film about a man, an investment banker, who rises to such amazing heights of success by abusing his power and conning a lot of people. So really, what we're seeing here is, that kind of, again, that link to, or that comment on Scooter Braun, who took advantage of her. But she is, the whole purpose of this is that this character, okay, Leo's character, is the epitome of that male privilege that she wants to challenge, okay? That she wants people to recognize these men not as, kings of industry, but as abusers of power, okay? So Leo's character is the epitome of abusive male privilege. And that point, isn't it, is to challenge this toxic stereotype, okay? It's to not necessarily just a message to women, this isn't it? It's a message to men to kind of force them to question how far they buy into this toxic stereotype, this hegemonic representation, okay? So here we've got this hegemonic representation being challenged. Remember, hegemonic means the idea that you should fit into a certain category within our society. So this is that hegemonic message that men need success, okay? In order to be considered masculine in our culture, you need to reach heights of success, okay? And the purpose here is to challenge that, okay? All right, so beside this intertextual link, there's a lot going on as well. So again, the gesture codes are massive here, haven't we, okay? So to begin with, in the background, okay, another part of being a parody is being excessively over the top. So we've consistently got these hyperbolic gesture codes, okay? So what we're seeing is, him walking through the office. There are people holding up mugs, keyboards, cheering, applauding, okay? And again, this is a mockery, isn't it? It's over the top because it's a mockery. And what it is mocking is that narcissistic need for men to be respected, okay? Ooh, what's happened here? Here we go. Yep. Yeah, so the purpose is to... Thank you. All right. It is to... I'll put this in green, actually. There we go. Mock that narcissistic need for men to be respected. Again, it links back to that hegemonic representation that men need to be in charge of society, okay? That men need to have respect and success. So it's mocking this narcissistic need to be respected. Okay. And then alongside this as well, you've got his gesture codes, his body language. So you've got this really clear Christ pose, haven't you? Okay. Okay, this is that iconic, position of Jesus Christ. And it suggests, doesn't he, that he sees himself as this godlike character, okay? Obviously, it's not saying he is this. It's all about the idea of narcissism, okay? That he believes he is a god, okay? And again, alongside that, you've got all those connotations of narcissism, haven't you? Okay, you've got all those connotations of pride. Okay, and this is exactly what Taylor is attacking in the video. Okay, men that feel like they dominate society. Okay, and to a larger extent, if you're thinking, slightly beyond just this scene, the whole purpose here, isn't it, is to force the audience to question or feel disgusted at a society that celebrates men like this. Okay, forces the audience to question a patriarchy, a society ruled by men that rewards and celebrates these men. Boom. Okay, you could go on as well to talk about the suit, how it connotes wealth, and he goes through making that money-making sign as well, doesn't he? Suggesting that a measure of a man's value is also his wealth. Okay, but I think we've got enough here to analyze. So if we're applying this to our analysis, okay, these are our key sentences here. Let's focus on that idea of the intertextual link, okay? And then probably support that by the Christ pose. Yeah, those narcissistic, those narcissistic gesture codes. It might also be nice to link in this hegemonic idea, okay, that Taylor wants to challenge. So, the man uses intertextuality to, and this is one of our powerful statements, remember, create a parody of powerful men to humiliate them and expose their flaws. So there's our strong statement, okay? And then we're going to zoom in on a specific bit of evidence. So obviously it's that link to the Wolf of Wall Street, okay? So the mediated use of the link to the Wolf of Wall Street, just fits in there. Red word, green word. Okay, so I'm going to say brutally. And again, I could say demonstrates, illustrates, villainizes would be quite nice here. But I want to make that point that he is the epitome of abusive male privilege. Okay, so I might say demonstrates. Okay, or I might say exemplifies. There we go. Brutally exemplifies Leo's character as the evil epitome of abusive male privilege. Full stop. Okay, and then we're going to go on to develop this idea, okay, develop this representation, and we're going to support it with our Christ pose, okay? So we could say this hegemonic representation, this narcissistic representation. I might just go for toxic representation, okay? In fact, let's say this toxic hegemonic representation, throw them both in. This toxic hegemonic representation supported by, and we'll talk about that arrogant Christ pose, okay? Supported by the arrogant Christ pose. Okay, emphasizes, highlights, symbolizes. So let's think it's this idea that he sees himself as a godlike character, and he feels that, we could talk about maybe how an audience feels that pressure to live up to that standard of masculinity, okay? So emphasizes how he sees himself as a godlike character, okay? Emphasizes the narcissistic image he has as a godlike character. So let's talk about a male audience here. Okay, we usually talk about a female audience, but let's talk about how this is actually meant to impact upon a male audience. Okay, so as a result, a male audience. Okay, so we could go this, down this route of forcing this to question patriarchy, but I think we have to stick with this hegemonic idea because we've mentioned it here. So let's think about how, men feel like they have to live up to these standards of success set by society, but maybe by ridiculing it, Taylor is saying that men don't have to live up to these standards, okay, that men are free to be who they want to be. So as a result, a male audience is left feeling free from societal pressures to achieve unrealistic, sorry, I've done that wrong. What am I doing? To achieve unrealistic standards of success, okay? Unrealistic standards of success at any expense, because that's the idea, isn't it? About this idea of abusing your male privilege, okay? We're being willing to do anything to achieve success. Okay, so that's my analysis of that key scene there. Hope this is helpful. See you later.